Hi everyone, thank you for joining today. I am very pleased, I think everyone here is very pleased to present you this webinar about how to improve efficiently your guest experience with automation. So today's webinar is presented by Your.Rentals in partnership with Minute. And I would say that we can directly get into it by presenting the speakers of today. So I am Adrian and I work at Your.Rentals as team lead for the business market. And I'm today with Hannah from Minute. Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Adrian. Yes, I'm Hannah from Minute. I'm on the sales team. And yeah, it's great to see everyone here today, talk about both sides of the business and how it can benefit you guys.
Exactly. And hi, Peter. Peter's from Sender State.
Hi, Adrian, and hi, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here. I am from senderstate.com, short-term rental company, and I am the general manager of the hospitality part of the company.
Thank you very much. Happy to have you both here. And yeah, let's show a bit more about what automation can bring to the short-term business. So first of all, let's present also the different companies that are presenting this webinar. So let's first start with Minute.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adrian. So I'll be happy to tell everybody on this call a little bit about Minute. It's hard to know if, we've got some brand new people that don't know what Minute at all, or some current users. So either way, I'm going to just give everyone an overview of what Minute does. The device is actually on this slide. So it is hardware that goes into the short-term rental property. And then what we supply is software behind it too, in means of a web app that you can access the information all on your desktop, any platform like that, and then also on your mobile phone. So you can get all the data that Minute is monitoring from your home, from any location, of course. It is an all-in-one sensor. So what Minute will provide is noise monitoring. So this is not in relation to any type of recordings or what kind of noise is coming from the home. It can just tell you the amount of noise being created, so a decibel meter. So you can tell if anything is going over the threshold that you guys can set yourselves as well. The other features then include occupancy monitoring, which can tell you if there's a crowd gathering in the home, which I'll be happy to give you more details on later in this presentation. Movement as well, so it can tell you if the home is just occupied or not by an actual person moving in the home. It can tell you temperature information, so whether the temperature is rising or dropping below a certain level. It can recognize fire alarms and other alarms similar to that. So that's how it does alarm recognition, which is also very helpful safety feature. And it can tell you if there's a risk of mold developing in the property as well, from taking the temperature and the humidity data and giving you that analysis over a week of capturing the data, and can tell you if there's a risk of mold developing or not. And then, of course, an obvious one, it can tell if it's being tampered with and give you a notification straight away. So if the device is taken off of its mounting plate for any reason at all, the owner of the account is notified and you can act accordingly. So that's just a general overview on most of the features that Minute has. And then we'll kind of go into a deeper dive later on in this presentation about some of the specifics.
Great, thanks, Hannah. And let's now talk about Your.Rentals, the other partner of this webinar. Your.Rentals is what we call a channel manager and a property management system. So same here, I am not sure of who attends today. We probably have property managers, but we might have owners as well. But that's an all-in-one solution that will fit for any needs. Either you are an owner or a property manager. So this means that thanks to this platform, you would be able to centralize all the different tools that you would need in general to manage your business as a property manager. And therefore you would find the the most needed ones, such as the channel manager or the calendar synchronization. But you also can have other parts such as market insights or either account management to have some support to build a full business, also to fulfill your need of having a full calendar as a property owner. So instead of managing all different solutions, you would have an all-in-one at only one place, so that you would save time. But once again, I won't say too much, because we're going to present you in detail more example of such in terms of automations with both Minute and Your.Rentals. And later on, Peter from Sanderstay will also showcase a bit more. So let's see now the topic of today. So what are we going to cover today? First of all, we're going to introduce you to how to grow your portfolio size without increasing your staff. And this is thanks to automations mainly. And coming after this, it's going to be, after growing your portfolio and having more, I would say, to handle, how to, even though, maintain a consistent in-home experience to achieve a 5 stars review. Because when you grow your portfolio, we know that it's getting more difficult to control it all, and therefore automation is here to support and to help. As the last part, Sanderstay and Peter will discuss a real case with Sanderstay and showcase a bit more about how they've been using the tools that we're going to present you, as well as automation, to grow the business and to plan for a full growth within the next few years. And the last point is a summary of all the rest. And it's basically giving you the list of how to save time and grow efficiently with different tools and software that we might not mention during the rest of the webinar. All right, so let's dig into it. And first of all, how to grow your portfolio size without increasing your staff. Well, you will hear this a lot, but I will mention it, is automate your work. By automating your work, you have plenty of different ways, but here I would like to highlight, I would say, the primary ones that you might find maybe, but that you might not use yet, or maybe you might use, but only a few. So the very first one is use a channel manager. For the people that don't know what it is, a channel manager is a platform or a place where you would create a listing and then be able to publish this listing on many different OTAs or platforms like Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, and so on. So instead of creating different accounts everywhere and having to manage your property on all those different platforms, you would be able to instead manage it all at one spot. And this is a way for you to, first of all, get more visibility, because you can, for example, with Your.Rentals, access to more than 30 different websites with only one place. But first and foremost, also by saving time. Saving time means because you would be able to, by changing, I don't know, some facilities, changing your pricing, changing the pictures, instead of having to go in every different place and forgetting when you did it and how you did it at one place, you would do it only once, and then everything will be connected automatically. So that's, first of all, a very good tool for you to automate the work and make it do only once instead of repeating the work. We can think of people having, I don't know, 30, 40, 100 properties to update on every single platform. That's a lot of work. Talking about all the different platforms, we obviously discuss about calendars. For the people, a lot of people that when we're talking in the sales process, for example, still mention having only one calendar and the rest they will block manually according to the dates they have. And this is, I would say, still surprising, knowing that synchronization of calendars should be the focus of making your business grow. Because the more properties you will have, the more double booking risk you would have as well. And I believe that everyone in this webinar already at least once encountered this problem of double bookings, which is making us paying fees, so losing money, but also losing time and maybe some reservations in the end. So what is the synchronization about? It's simply about connecting the different platforms' calendars together so that they do the work instead of you. So when they have a booking on one place, then they're going to send automatically that this date is blocked so that the other platform knows it, and same on the other way. This Your.Rentals, for example, propose it directly, automatically, thanks to the channel manager and the property management system, so that you don't even have to do any specific move. So when you send your listing all over the platforms, all the platform also get your availability. And the last one I like to mention as an automation to automate your work and make it more efficient is about the unified payment process. That's a very important one. Same, we hear it a lot during the sales process. It's about all the financial part of the different commissions that some platforms might take, or I don't know, some fixed price that some other solutions might also ask for. In this particular case, my recommendation for you is to go for the simplest as possible and the more balanced as possible as well. So that you get control over your financial reports and you can see your expenses ahead to be able to plan strategically accordingly as well. By this, I mean that, for example, Your.Rentals work on a commission-based tool, which means that you don't pay anything per month. And so first of all, you know that you don't have to pay something if, for example, you work only seasonally and during, I don't know, winter, you won't do anything. So that's the first point to cover and to keep control. But the other point is that Your.Rentals chose to have a same commission no matter the platform, which means that you would always earn the same amount no matter the platform and no matter where it is. And that's a very good way for you to make sure that you would, no matter what, get your amount in your pocket at the end of the reservation and no bad surprises, no matter where the platform, where the booking is from. So all this said, all those different automation, my last thing is you need to have an all-in-one solution. And I think Minute will mention it as well, because it's an all-in-one solution. But Your.Rentals is, which is having it all at one place. And this will make you focus on your growth rather than all the other points that could be automatized, like Your.Rentals can propose to you, or an all-in-one solution as well. By all-in-one, you have all those different aspects here, like channel manager, calendar synchronization, where we can also talk about connecting your website with direct bookings to this all-in-one solution, having other people being able to jump in your calendars, for example, such as a cleaning company or I don't know, check-in, check-out people in terms of collaborators. And all this will secure your time to focus on your growth.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you, Adrian. So choosing a tech stack that can work together to automate manual tasks will obviously save you money and time for running daily operations. So for an example, Minute can send your guests a welcome message, checkout instructions, and even remind them as well about house rules when they're being a bit too loud or anything else. So the automation between your PMS system, Your.Rentals exactly, means that these messages can be completely automated, which reduces, just like Adrian said, everything that you would normally need in between to do these things. So these messages can go obviously by SMS, and also there is an automatic call feature within Minute as well. In the case where there is a loud noise happening, for an example, we can have a chain of events that happens that will include SMS first of all, and of course you guys as the Minute account holder would be notified at every stage on what communication is being made to the guest at each stage as well. So yeah, that is a great shortcut in making sure that you don't need to actually be involved with the guest communication side of things. And this all is in fact automated between the two systems, between Your.Rentals and Minute, because obviously during the bookings process, the contact information would be uploaded for the booking, and then Minute can synchronize with the property that they're in. So in the event of a noise event or any other type of event that you want to notify the guest for, whether it's checking in, checking out, any of the normal routine things, and then also for some type of unusual event where there's maybe too much noise or too many people or whatever else, you can also do that straight from the app without having to, have their number separately or anything like that. So just making life a lot more streamlined and the process is a lot shorter. So these are an example of how we actually create the scheduled messaging. So as you can see, you can select before check-in, after check-in, before checkout, after checkout. You can manually put in these dates or whatever else, but also with the Your.Rentals integration, of course, this would all be completely automated and actually take your efforts out of it. So you can customize the message to whatever you want it to say, whether that includes specifics about the home, or whether you want it to be a normal branded message from your own property management company or your own brand that welcomes the guest as you would like them to be welcomed. So with noise resolution, then this is an example of how the notification would come in for the guest from you, or whatever way you want it to look. The SMSs are, the payment or the cost of them is covered by minutes. So in case that is a question that might come up, and you can also just customize these exactly like you'd want to. It means, like the point of this webinar, how to make these automations work for you. And this is exactly what we mean also by cutting down, having a great tech stack and having the right technology and software in your business means you don't have to spend the money on the people, and you yourselves don't have to be up 24/7 as a precautionary to look out for these types of alerts. The minute system does it completely automated if there is some type of noise event, party, crowd, whatever else, and that is because of the integration, of course. So it definitely replaces those extra staff members when you have the right tech stack.
Super, thanks a lot, Hannah. So indeed, yeah, the messenger part is also a very important way of doing an automation in all the, let's say, the 24/7 part of a short-term business, indeed. So after this first, let's say, talking about how to help us grow thanks to automation, when we grow, of course, we also have sometimes the need of focusing on the 5 stars review so that we keep our branding on top. And therefore, that's what we want to talk about right now to help you achieve this. And talking about the messenger tool that you mentioned with Minutes, I'd like to jump on this also by mentioning to everyone here that this is the most important part with the hosting experience. To have a great hosting experience from the very first moment of the inquiry until the very last time of the checkout, to afterwards being able to reduce in complaint and dispute, but also to create a real engagement and personalized discussion with the customer. In this case, for example, on Your.Rentals, you have the messenger tool that allows you to communicate with the guest, whoever from is knowing that if the person books from Agoda, books from TripAdvisor or Airbnb, everything will come at one place. So this is once again about the all-in-one solution that we talked before. But first and foremost, there is also the idea of templates and scheduling. So you have a personalized touch, but yet it can also be automatized and create this, let's say, personal and customizable hosting experience to in the end reduce complaint, but also to have something excellent for your guests.
So with Minute, you can prevent parties, of course. That is basically the end goal. What we're trying to do is not so much be the tool that de-escalates like a lot of crazy noise events, but we want to actually be the tool that helps them to not occur at all, basically. So we have dove a little bit deeper into this. First of all, even advertising that you have a Minute system in your home really does kind of make sure that you're attracting the right types of guests, first of all, because if they're aware of the system and everything else, they're very unlikely that that's the type of stay that they're looking for anyway. So that's like the first step in prevention rather than the de-escalation side of things. Then also we have released the occupancy monitor. So this is a crowd detection tool. So it's not, we're not trying to advertise it as, a person counter or something like that. But what we are proud of it as is a crowd detection tool. So everybody would know that with a lot of people could lead to a lot of noise. There's a lot more voices and whatever else. And that also helps twofold with property managers. So there's a per head price for your booking potentially. So you don't want to have too many people in there for that reason. Also, you don't want too many people in there because they could cause noise later on or even at the same time. Basically, how it works is it can monitor the amount of Bluetooth devices in the home. So that would include, you know, iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods, all these things. They would all give off a Bluetooth emittance, which can be picked up by the Minute device, and then you can get a good picture of like if there's a lot of people there, basically. And so that is even before there's any noise. So that would be a time that you could kind of nip it right in the bud before there is even decibels that you need to worry about. And then, yeah, you can get a good idea prior to these events that there might be something happening later on in the booking if there is a large amount of people. So basically it's all the same device. You can also pick up on, you know, the temperature, and I mentioned motion earlier as well. So that's actually done separately to the occupancy. It is the body temperature of people inside the home. So it's a very accurate to tell you if there is someone actually there or not, which also helps to get a good picture, and also good for security as well. If you ever have a vacant home, you'll definitely know it's vacant if there's a Minute in there. So this is an example of the type of message that would come to the guest with the integrations, you know, from Your.Rentals. That's how these SMS texts would be sent. So you can see clearly here that, well, sorry, what we have found is that there is a very high, you know, reception, the amount of, sorry, the statistics where after the first message are very high, that actually brings down the disturbance. But we have in place a chain of events that can happen if they don't see the text for whatever reason. We could set it up so that in the next 5 or 10 minutes after there is still the same amount of noise, they can receive another text. They can also receive a call, which the call is done from like a bot, which means that you can write whatever message you want the bot to read out to your guest from your brand or whatever else. And then as a last stage as well, you know, if there's really no response from the first 2 attempts, you'll be notified as well that this is happening. Every communication to the guest will be communicated with you also, but the text can go again, the call can happen again. These are all means to get the guest's attention, to just let them know that there is too much noise in the home. And then there can also be, the device can actually light up and make a sound. So we're calling that feature flash and sound. And that's just a way for them in the real environment to notice that they're being too loud and to look at the text. But we would say 9 times out of 10 after the first reach out, it really does reduce the noise more often than not. And of course, just to note, it is 100% privacy safe, of course. There's no way that there's any actual raw data collected, first of all, and then also there's no recording on the device. You wouldn't know if it's rock music or if it's just conversation. Like, there's no way you would know that. You just know the amount of decibels being created. So completely safe to be inside a home. No cameras, of course, either. The monitoring and occupancy is done by Bluetooth and body temperature. So yeah, you can get full kind of a good picture of the environment inside, but without jeopardizing the privacy of the guest at all. So we have here the temperature notifications. The good use cases for these, like we have written on the text message, which you would get as the property manager, is that you can monitor these type of environmental factors from a remote location. So this could be useful if you are, obviously close to the properties, but also if you are not, it makes no difference. You can get everything from the app. The example that we've got here is that it's almost at a freezing temperature. So you can imagine potentially in a winter environment, you might want to set a threshold so that, things like pipes don't burst or whatever else, and you're also not there for that winter. You've no guests, you might have a seasonal place. You can rely on Minute for that type of visibility. Equally, it can let you know about humidity levels in the home. And in the same strain there, it can tell you if there's a risk of mold developing in the home. It does this from taking the temperature data and the humidity data together. It analyzes it for a full week and tells you after that week, if there's a possibility of mold developing in this environment or not. And it will continue to analyze it as long as the minute is installed as well. And then the last point there, alarm recognition. So that would mean that the device is not a fire alarm itself. It can tell you if your fire alarm is going off. So it tells you, if obviously it's useful if you have guests to make sure everything's fine. And then it's also useful if you have no guests, because then there would be no one there to hear the alarm, and you can rely on Minute for that as well.
I'll take this part. Thanks, Hannah. It indeed shows that Minute has a lot of different information, and therefore those information, I think, is the great part to know today, is that it is integrated with your rentals. So this means that once again, you can get all those different reports that you mentioned, and that people can actually download to use for any specific topic directly on their property management system, and it's linked directly to the property that they created for also the different OTAs and so on. So that's very handy in terms of reporting, I would say. I don't know if you would like to add anything specifically to this reporting part of Minute.
No, that looks great. It's just explaining the red line, the red dotted line here would be the threshold that you guys can all set yourself. And don't worry, you don't need to know anything about decibels to set this up. We have like what a party would be in decibels. And then you can also kind of experiment a little bit to decide what you want to set your thresholds as. And then, everything underneath the threshold won't trigger anything. And even if there is a spike in noise, that won't trigger a notification and a call and everything else straight away. It will have to be loud noise, and also for the amount of time that you set. So we recommend between 5 and 15 minutes. And that's also all in the app as well. So you don't need to remember what I'm telling you. It's all in there for everyone. So it's very simple. But you won't get false alerts is what I'm getting at. Because, sometimes there is like brief periods of loud noises that aren't something that property managers are going to worry about, either will the neighbors. So you can really rely on any notifications you get from Minute that they are actually something that needs to be responded to.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Hannah. Let's talk a bit about other aspects of how to create this 5-star experience. In this first case, as Hannah mentioned, it was a lot about the in-home experience and making sure about the safety, but also about all the different aspects, external aspects that might happen at home. But this part is more about the experience itself of the guest and upgrading it to have a very special, I would say, request, for example, or opportunities to upsell anything. So those upselling opportunities can be for free, can be, I would say, a gift on arrival, for example, a basket with fruits, but it also can be something that someone would like to customize for their stay. We can think of, for example, the early check-in, or we can think of the airport transfer, for example. So all those different upselling opportunities, they can be free or for a specific fee. Nevertheless, it will be able for the guest to customize the journey towards your brand. And therefore, this is very important for you to forecast and to show that you are able to propose, I would say, something very, upselling and memorable for your guests. This is obviously all manageable through the Your.Rentals part. So for any specific listing that you have, you can add any specific extra and services. So those, for example, are examples, but you can also customize them, which means that if you have a very specific thing, like, I don't know, you propose a yoga class, and this is not in our services as written, you can always use our blank extra that helps you to create your own extra. So this is really about your place, what you want to propose, and how you want to propose it in the end. And the last one, all this will lead obviously to what everyone is also trying to reach, which is the guest reviews and having as better notes as possible. So in this specific example here, Your.Rentals allows you to take care of your guest reviews on the Your.Rentals platform. So it means that you can receive from any different platforms, but you can also respond. And this response will either go to the platform where the review came from, but also some specific platform might receive external reviews, which means that if you receive a review from booking.com, maybe this platform will also send it. So it means that you can really collect all those get reviews, and responding is always the best, obviously, to have the best branding possible. Now I would like to introduce Sanders Day, and I think Peter will take the lead. So just as a quick introduction, after talking about those two topics with Hannah, Sanders Day is a company that is using both Your.Rentals as Minute, but that wasn't the main part of this right now. It's mostly about Peter showing to us how they've been able to grow, and they are keeping on growing thanks to those automation. Welcome, Peter.
Thanks, Adrian. So I think if you jump to the next slide, then there's a short introduction. Sanders has been founded and by Bo Sander, who is not only the founder, but also the CEO of the company. He has been in the long-term rental business for over 20 years in Denmark, very successful. We started to focus on short-term rental for about the last 5 years. And we started it out with the mother company of Sanders, which is called Nordic Housing. In 2019, we decided to go into other markets. Of course, in the meantime, COVID came, so that gave us some extra free time without much guests for a while to figure out how we're going to tackle the foreign markets. So we decided to rebrand the company. And for that reason, we changed the name in 2021 to Sanders. Today, we are one of the largest short-term rental company in Denmark, with being represented in the main cities. And we have physical operation and portfolio in Cyprus, Spain, and Portugal. We have roughly 500 properties that currently are online or getting online as we speak. And the plan is that by the end of this year, we should be somewhere entering the 4-digit number, so over 1,000 properties. And the next 4 or 5 years, the plan is to continue to grow and double up every year. And eventually, at some point, we would like to also offer this as a franchise company option.
Yeah, that's an amazing journey so far. So give us maybe the tips and yeah, the different tools that you've been using at Sanders Day.
Yeah, well, I don't want to waste too much time on talking about the strength of the brand and so on. And there's a lot of part of it, such as we have a whole brand department. We have an entire interior department who is we prefer to furnish our properties. So we prefer to take in properties that are without furniture and furnish it with our own furniture. And we also have a quality controlling department that is visiting with operation manager in each area, visiting the properties and making sure that everything looks in the apartments or villas as they're supposed to. Also doing inventory check. And that is something that you cannot really automate. You can do a lot of systems and you can not automatize them, but it's very important to have operational systems in place for those. Where you can do a lot of automation is where you're using technology. For that very reason, we are actually in the process to build our own technology platform, which will not include us building our own channel manager system. We will continue to work with Your.Rentals on that, and also for now at least to do let Your.Rental handle also our PMS. We started to work together in March 2019, and it's been an amazing journey how both company has been growing and helping each other, almost like a joint venture, I would say, on many levels to get to the point where we are today. I would say that a couple of things that I would point out that it's helping us a lot. Adrian already mentioned a couple of them, such as the collecting the payments and not dealing with that. That's quite a huge task if we take it into consideration that we have thousands of guests every week globally. What we taking care of is one of them is the direct booking that we're working on our own website. And there we are trying to come up with our marketing and sales team and revenue management team, coming up with ideas how can we get more booking directly on our website instead of the OTAs or B2Bs or tour operators. We also have something that we invented, and right now is a combination of human work and automatization. It's regarding our dynamic pricing. So all our properties has a basic price, but we also have several seasonal rates on all of them. And what we're doing is we're pulling the data from Your.Rentals and get our occupancy rate report every Monday morning. And after that, we sit together with our revenue management and sales team and see where the occupancy is for the next 6 months on each property, and we're moving the prices up and down according to that. And that is quite unique. Probably we all know that airlines and hotels have been using dynamic pricing for very long time in short-term rental. As a professional company, I think we are one of the first one who started to use that, and the goal is that eventually that will be all automated without any human process. The only thing that a human will always have to do is to decide the prices and to set in the basic rate, and then everything else can be automated. We also have a guest communication center, as we call it, which is something that the part of it is a classical call center, and then part of it is also helping our local operation managers and guest managers. Our communication center is located in Malaga, where we have now 12 employees, which I know it sounds a lot, but bear in mind that they are doing a lot of, they each having some sorts of side jobs. So for example, there is a designated team who is taking care of reviews. We have a zero tolerance policy in the company, which means that we have to answer every single review they receive. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. And they have to do that within 24 hours after the guest leaves the reviews. Many of it is automated. If the review is a good review, there is some automated messages that we can write back to the guest. But if it's either any particular case or any particular comment in the reviews that it triggers something in our system that, oh, we have to take care of this, then they write back a customized message to the guest. As far the guest communication center, also it's important to note that it's open 24/7, 365 days a year. And we're also communicating with our guests on 8 different languages. So and many of it it's very specifically built for our needs. So for example, the system even recognizes that the telephone call that we're receiving from the guest, which country is from, and the guest has the choice to choose the language that country is speaking. And if the waiting line is too long, then we can give them the option, if they don't like to speak English with an operator or with a guest communication center employee, then they can get through quicker. Otherwise, they can wait a little longer if they want to speak Italian or Russian or Chinese or Arabic, etc. So I would say those are the things that I would say to single it out. And then just to talk a little bit about minutes also and the devices. Despite all the features that that Hannah mentioned, I would like to point it out that that in our business, I think many people don't recognize it. That we have the guest, of course, that is very important in our business. But again, in our company, we always keep reminding ourselves that the guests are important, but our landlords and homeowners who giving their properties to us, they are equally important. Because if they are not happy and there is some kind of dispute and they take the properties back, it gives a bad reputation to our brand, and it's also eventually losing business. So Minute has been an amazing device for us to go out and go into new markets and present the device and the software behind. And we received only 100% good, very welcoming feelings from new homeowners and developers and investors who wanted to give us properties, because it brings them really security feeling that we're really trying to take care of their properties, and it also takes care of a lot of their headache. And I would like to also point out, for example, the fact that you can control the temperature, or you can see the temperature in the property. That is, in some areas of the world, it's really a great service from Minute to us, because if we can see that, for example, there is no guest in the property in somewhere in the Mediterranean in the middle of the summer, and we can see that the temperature is set on 18 degrees, then we know that the air condition is running for days and days without having any guests there. So it's very easy to send one of our cleaning team members there, one of our operational manager there, and turn off the air condition, which will save them electricity for the owner or for us, depends on what is the setup. And the same in Denmark. It's very typical that our team is very trained up that when they clean the properties and all the heating should be turned down to a normal level. Typically guest arrives, they turn it up to maximum. So inside the apartment is like 28 degrees. And of course, if that's what they want to have while they're staying with us, that's fine. But when they check out and there is no guest for a couple of days, again, if we notice that it's still continue to be 28 degrees, then we can send somebody there. Again, save some energy for the homeowner, for ourselves. Also be a little bit mindful about green running business, etc. So it's in that aspect, it's also very good. And again, it brings us a big plus when we're talking to new homeowners who are considering working with us or giving their properties to us to manage it. It's definitely has been a great help to work with Minute.
That's amazing to hear. That's really, really good. Thanks a lot, Peter, for those words. I think, I mean, people have quickly understood the way that it should go, which is basically to focus on the automation, but also on what you mentioned, which is not only the guests, but also the owners, because without owners, we don't have the properties to show to the guests. So it's, I would say, both ways to go. That was a very good thing to highlight. And I think everyone is aware, but it's a little plus thanks to obviously what Minute proposed, to keep an eye on the property even empty, I would say. Thanks a lot, Peter, for all this. So if we move forward, we now arrive to the, I would say, summary of this webinar, and we're going to mention a bit more about the, I would say, overall different softwares or tools that you could use, not only Minute or Your.Rentals, but any specific general softwares to save time and grow efficiently. So the different tools we can think of are part of this list, obviously. So if you want to scale, we can, I mean, we receive all this afterwards, so I won't go into details, but you might find again what we call the property management software, or an automated guest messaging, as we've been talking, as well as a payment processor, the noise monitoring, very important one, but also pricing management software, as Peter mentioned during the Sender Stay discussion. So those are different tools to really look at if you would like to scale and to really automate everything to keep on growing. And then we have the thing to look for and think about. So first of all, you should look at a multifunctional solution. So instead of focusing at one point, you should open as much as possible your visibility to then take all the different tools and solutions that you need here and there, not using every single thing because each and single business or property is different and has specific needs, but at least to have a multifunctional solution to, once again, take what you would need to grow. And also take the solutions as your extended team. So it means that you should automate the fundamentals so that then if the team grows also, you would be able to follow up on this automation as the business scales. And also you should understand who the customer work with, and that indeed you can benchmark yourself thanks to this. And also how is the pricing change as you scale? Because indeed, the more you will grow, you need to plan ahead. And that's where I would say the financial part that I mentioned during the first part of the webinar comes from. So pricing is changing a lot, but scaling also. And therefore, thanks to, I would say, reporting and pricing automations, you would be able to have a plan ahead in terms of strategy. And of course, will the solution work if you expand rapidly? This is very important to take part of. So you need to think ahead when you're taking a decision in terms of solutions and automations to make sure that even though you're growing, this solution will be able to be applied anyhow. And the last one is how reliable is the service, obviously, upon the time and where you are located. All right, I think that we have some good surprises for our current attendees. If you would like to tell a bit more.
Absolutely. So everybody, that's either registered for this or is here today is getting offered the coupon code that is shown here. Also, for anyone that has a number of properties, I would definitely encourage them to reach out either, to myself. I look after, most of the inquiries that come in from the EU side. And then also we have, a full team in the US as well. So we would be happy to deal with, an inbound inquiry if you have more than, for example, 10 or 15 properties. I would definitely encourage you to get in touch. And then, for everybody who's interested to try out Minute, you can use the code that's here. So Your.Rentals, and then that's going to give you 1 month off your subscription. So 2 ways to get in touch, either, obviously purchasing with the code or getting in touch with the sales@minute.com email address or my own. So I think we're going to be sharing that contact details with everyone anyway.
Awesome. Really awesome. Thanks, Minute. Thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome.
And same on your rental side. We are happy to also for all the attendees here to propose a 1-month booking boost on all your listings for either new registration to your rentals after this webinar. Same here. Feel free to reach out to me or to reach out to any person at your rentals so that we can really help you out here with the new registration and signups. And for any Your Rentals users ordering a Minute device, it's also a 1-month booking boost for all 1-month booking boost for the different listings. So booking boost, we mean a commission. No commission during your first bookings. Should we jump maybe to the Q&A session now? I think we had quite a few questions during this webinar. So let's answer a few of them orally. I believe that others have been answered. And I actually have a first one for you, Hannah, right now, about Minutes. So the first one is, how many Minute devices do you need per home?
Good question. So normally, it completely depends on what you want to get out of the system, realistically. One good thing to note is that no matter how many you put into your home, because we don't want to have any, discrepancies between someone with a very large home and then an apartment, the subscription cost for that home will be the same no matter how much hardware is in it. So that's just something to note from the start. But normally with a normal sized home, we would just recommend one in the communal area, because that's normally where people are trying to gather information in regards to noise. So yeah, one in the communal area is absolutely what we would recommend, but it does depend on what you're trying to understand from the system, because if you want to, understand who's entering or something like that, you could put them near the exits and the entrances. But for party prevention in general, normally we say one in the communal area is perfectly fine, unless you might have many communal areas, then put one in those as well.
All right, thanks a lot. I can take another one, which is about different OTAs manageable. So the question is, can you manage all the OTAs? And can I keep for myself the one that I use on my side? So if I understand, you have an OTA on your side, but you would like to, I would say, be visible on all the other OTAs through maybe your rentals. So this is indeed doable, no problem at all with this. This very important part is to understand is that what will happen on the OTA that you have on your side, you will have to deal it with their own conditions and terms, as well as connecting to the platform, and all the rest happening to your rentals will be through your rentals with your rentals conditions. So it means that instead of having different platforms, you will have only two, I would say. And the very important part here is simply to synchronize the calendars. Once again, as I mentioned earlier, to make sure that the OTA that you're using is connecting with ours so that we have the different visibility. And I believe that this is a good question for anyone that is interested to grow visibility at no cost, because your rentals is free to use, only on commission based, but also to fill in a bit more the calendar. So if you have any availability with only a few OTAs, that might be a good tool for you. I hope it answered the question. You can reach out afterwards. Hannah, maybe another one for you. Does Minute work outside?
Yeah, good question. So the current Minute, I would not recommend putting it outside, because it won't like, dust particles, moisture, direct sunlight, that type of thing, because it is definitely designed to be inside, and that's within regards to the warranty and everything like that. We do know that there is some used, under verandas and stuff like that, and I think they're having reasonable success. I just wouldn't recommend it because it's not built for that. But we do have an outdoor sensor coming. It should be released towards the end of the year, and we're very excited for it because we've had great demand from our customer base for it. So it's coming and we're happy about that.
Oh, that's great news. Really good news. I have another question that is related to both, actually. I can answer it because I think most of it is on your rental side, but how do I integrate your rentals with Minutes, basically? So I think, yeah, we can both answer this part. So as you understood, yeah, you can use your rentals and Minute together, which means that when you have a Minute device, you can connect it with a listing that you have on your rentals. This allows you to get the reporting parts on your rentals dashboard, so that you don't have to reconnect, or it's easier maybe to find on your rentals. How to do so? It's really easy. On both platforms, you are able to choose as a provider in terms of channel management or as an extra tool, either Minutes or your rentals. So I can talk about your rentals part. You would simply go on the tools part and choosing to connect a Minute account with your rentals account. And thanks to this, then you would connect your Minute device to the listing. I have another question for Minutes for Johanna. So how do Minute notifications get sent to the guest?
Yeah, so through integrations like Your.Rentals is how they come to the guests. So you can pull the phone number, so it goes through an SMS through the booking that the guest will make themselves, which will include the country code and everything like that. So the text will successfully deliver. And likewise with the phone call. So the call is done by a bot recording. So you write out exactly what you want this bot to say, and in relation to your brand, in relation to the message you want to deliver, and it will when the guest answers, that's how it'll do. So text messages and phone calls is the main way, because that's what we're trying to do, is get their attention, to let them know that they're being too loud. So they're the best ways.
All right, thank you. And maybe we can take one last. Maybe there is a question about how many properties can I list on your rentals? That's a good question, actually, because as mentioned earlier, I don't know about the attendees, but you can be a property owner or property manager or a full-grown business. You can use your rentals. So it means that there is no restriction and you don't have limited access whatsoever. So you can have one property or many different ones. You will have the same features available. You might use the features differently, obviously, according to your need. But the very important thing to know is that, there is, you can use us with one property, 5, 10, 100. You are welcome. The maybe thing to know is that, there might be some, I would say, specific channels where you would get more visibility on if you're a business, according maybe to multi-unit aspects and so on. But in the end, the features are the same. And we are more than happy to talk to you either as a property owner or property manager at Your.Rentals.
Adrian, if I can jump in on that, if I can jump in on that one with a good, but I think it's a pretty good solution. It's not something that everybody needs, perhaps, but if somebody's out there with very large portfolio, what you can also do is that you have several partner cards. So instead of having all your properties on one partner card with Your.Rentals, you put them on different partner cards. I think currently we have about 12 of them with Your.Rentals, and we did that. We did split it up for various reasons. Various countries, even within country, we have different partner cards because they are connected to a different investor or a different developer. So that's a good solution. I also know that you guys are working very hard on the umbrella login, so we will be able to log in at the same time to all our partner cards and see what's happening. And also, if you're operating in various countries, to get the right data regarding occupancy and average nightly rate, etc., it's very good to have them on different partner cards, because if you cannot compare a studio apartment in Copenhagen with a 8-bedroom villa in Marbella. But that's a very good solution, just if anybody is wondering about that. Not to mention that it helps also for the speed of the app to remain it quite fast. I would say that ideally max 100 units on each partner card. That's our experience.
You're a very good partner. Thanks, Peter. We work in sales together. That's really nice. Thanks a lot for all those different aspects that I actually could mention indeed. Not to mention that we actually work a lot on this, as you said, multi-partner cards that allows and will allow more and more any businesses to manage many different umbrellas, as you said, of properties and different sub-branding according to how you want to expand. That's really true. And we work because we want to work more and more in growth.
There is one more thing that you guys are doing very well, and we didn't talk about it, and it's kind of sorts of part of the automatication, I would say, and very important for homeowners, that you can turn them into collaborators, which means that they will be able to log into the calendar and see what's going on in their property. I know that many part of that is still under development, But for example, we give to, especially for our private homeowners, they really appreciate it that they are able to log in, see how many nights their properties are booked, and in cases if that's the agreement, we can also allow the collaborator to make their own booking, either for themselves or for their family. And that's a great service also that Your.Rental is offering.
That's absolutely true. Like this collaborator part, but also all the different features. I would love to show them all, but I'm hoping to show them to any attendees that are interested. We propose demos without any problem. But indeed, this collaborator part will also remove a lot of time from any property managers by making the owners also doing their part, which is blocking calendars or just having a look also maybe because they take care of the check-in. We don't really know about, but collaborating basically. So you put a person, I would say, on a screen having some access to the listings actually. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Peter. That's really, really nice to hear. Yeah. All right. I think we should, yeah, we are getting close to the end of the webinar. So I would first of all thank all the attendees today, but also everyone that will watch us afterwards with the recording that you will receive shortly. So thank you all for the questions as well, for attending today. I hope it was really helpful and educational for all of you. I would like also to thank you, Hannah and Peter, for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so feel free to reach out to all of us. You have the details here for any questions, anything. We're super happy to have you. Have a great rest of the day, and yeah, talk to you very soon. Bye, Hannah and Peter, and bye everyone.
Bye.